Hands here.
I got some on me.
So essentially we're TTCriders, which is a public transit advocacy group, and we advocate for more and better transit in the city. Essentially we came up with a couple of ideas that would not only improve kind of the information that we're able to get access to, but kind of the utility of what we can do with that information from kind of a rider's perspective. So our first idea was schedule adherence tracking. As we know, the TTC publishes all sorts of scorecards on the quality of their service. We have looked at those and we found they're not totally accurate, or they don't represent the experience that we've had as riders. And so we'd like to actually look at the reality of the service they deliver against what their published schedules are, and then to dig into that variance or delta, and perhaps kind of pull insight out of it. So for instance, on college, the streetcar is supposed to come every 10 minutes. There's oftentimes 40-minute gaps. The TTC doesn't note this anywhere, but that would be interesting to know if I was a regular user of that route. This could come to life in various ways, and I believe most of the data we need to do it is actually already existent, which is nice. So here's some of the sources. NextBus, this kind of like filing cabinet of all the TTC information, the portal, Toronto Open, and we need map people,
GIS people,
developers, designers, and maybe Keith will help us.
You got pretty well everything from me.
Cool.
And I'm also a member of the TTCriders.
Woo. Okay, that's idea one. We'll whip
Nice.
through because we have a couple here, Marcus.
See?
Sure.
Thank you.
So this one's about accessibility, especially for people with disabilities. So how do we find stations where the escalators and the elevators are broken down ahead of time so that people are not inconvenienced and have to replan their whole schedule or can't get to the station if there's no working elevator or escalator. So we saw some available data sources as a TTC website, but the only problem is you can't access this underground when you're in the subway. So one potential solution, but I don't know how far off it is there's going to be Wi-Fi at all stations being rolled out, and you can access it from this way. But we're looking for any other suggestions of data sources and who we need, what kind of resources as well for that.
Nice. And so you brought in accessibility into this theme, so you got two going, which is great. Yeah.
Okay, so here's our third one. So we are an advocacy group, and we're obviously interested in a city hall that's interested in transit. A lot of people say they are transit-friendly counselors and transit is a priority, but it's unfortunate because the way they vote doesn't really seem to represent that. So to kind of strip out all the media sound bites, etc., it's not very engaging and it's not very easy for a regular citizen to navigate the voting records of City Hall. We like to pull this information into a site. Keep moving over. We like to pull this information into a site, which is kind of fun and engaging, where people can click on a core transit vote, and maybe the counselors' little emoticons or something slide to the different sides of the site of who voted yes, who voted no, and the public can decide for themselves whether that means pro-transit or not, because we don't want to put a value judgment on it. But there's clear things like letting the TTC keep its surplus budget, keeping fares low. Like there's very clear votes where we can show kind of who's pro-transit and who isn't. And that data kind of mostly exists. We have it in a lot of our kind of blog posts, press releases. It's also obviously a matter of public record, so it should be easy to grab. Especially with the election coming up, which that would be a good tool for the citizen.
And you guys are productive. This is a productive table. Wow.
We made a really good group.
Yeah, no kidding. It's amazing.
The last problem, it was kind of near the end, so we didn't get a chance to think it through too much, but one of the developers, sorry, I forgot your name. Oh, Chad, sorry, Chad, was saying, why don't we have color-coded travel time maps? They're called heat maps. Like in San Francisco, there's a map of how long it takes to get to your destination based on where you are now. So there'll be a color, like a green color in one section of the city, a blue or a red in the other. One useful application is to plan out like where you want to live based on how accessible that route is on a daily basis, monthly, yearly basis. And yeah, we didn't really get to where we'd find the data sources for that, but if anyone has any suggestions, that would be great.
Awesome. Nice work, man. Nice work. Okay. That's that. All right, cool. And before you go,